compared to the last couple of months, this week's been a break, hasn't it? It's been some time without football. Just talk us through the last week. Since the last game, has it been useful to you?
Yeah, very much so. Obviously, we had a quite an intense period with the Saturdays that we had. So after Leyton Orient, it was a good opportunity to kind of reflect on that period of time, and then do some good training. I think it was important that the guys had a rest as well. So we gave them a couple of days, in order to switch off physically, mentally, to get over a heavy period. And then what we were able to do as well, fit around that with some real solid work on the training pitch. So guys have trained really well. Been really pleased with how they've trained. So the big challenge is to take it into the game tomorrow.
Any players that were struggling that maybe have recovered? How's Max getting on?
Yeah, Max is progressing slowly. Still not quite where we want it to be, but he's heading in the right direction. And again, I think with them types of injuries, they can be quite sore. So, I think it's a case of making sure that he, when he does get back, that we keep him back and we don't rush him too soon. So, he's heading in the right direction. We did at the end of that heavy period, we had a few lads that were, nothing serious, but were carrying a few sore groins, hamstrings, etc. So it kind of that was important to make sure that the guys were able to rest, so that come tomorrow night they're physically in the best place possible to go and perform.
Yeah, we talk about having maybe a week off. You've now got Wednesday, Saturday to think about, haven't you? So lots of things to think about.
Yeah, and it's the beauty of League One, right? There's no consistency really to the programme. It's that intense with the games and the different competitions that I think it's been great for me and the staff to go, right, how do we coach the players, because you have to do it in a variety of ways. So I think that's been really good. I think like I said, we're adaptable, we're flexible. I think that's important as a staff off the pitch. We were able to do that, and I think it's really important you see and you feel what the players need. I think the danger as a coach is that you want to just impose everything and throw everything at them and give them as much information as you possibly can, but I think actually what's really important is being able to filter that and make sure that you give them the right amount that they need at that given time, and that fluctuates again depending on how heavy the period is in terms of games. So hopefully the guys feel refreshed. They look at it in training and they're ready to go.
And you couldn't ask for a better game. I mean, it's lined up really nicely. Both sides looking motion. Plymouth at one point were running away with League One. Well, not running away. It's too early, but they were firing on all cylinders, and the two sides come up against each other, both looking for that top 6 place.
Yeah, and again, I think we've obviously done our work on them. It's going to be a difficult game. Their style's good. They want to dominate the ball as well, which obviously we want to as well. So I think from that perspective, you're going to get two styles of two teams wanting to play football, which hopefully should be good for the fans. So I think it's going to be a really tough game. We know that. So we have to make sure our attitude, our application, our focus going into the game, and then ultimately then executing the game plan and our quality is of the level where we can perform to our maximum and hopefully pick up the win.
And just looking a little further ahead, the January transfer window is coming up, and I know that as head coach, there's obviously a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Not that you don't know about, but a lot goes on, away from you with regards to transfers and whatnot. Is the biggest issue keeping hold of all your players this January?
Again, I think it's a difficult one, right? I think when you look at it, it's the unknown. So again, we've no idea what other clubs will do. All I know is we can control what we do. So I think when I look at it from that perspective, I see it as a big compliment that people are talking about our players. It means that they're doing well, and it means the team's doing well. So I see it as a big compliment, and I think the challenge is our ceiling. I think with this group and the potential that we have is high. It's now around making sure that all our energy goes into really stretching the players to hit that ceiling that they can hit, and hopefully turn that potential into performance. So I think the biggest thing for me with January is between now and then, head down and work. Make sure with the team that we have, always working that you have plan A, B, C if things do change, and then just assess it when it comes in. I think for me, I'm not one of, as you know, I think in terms of wasting energy on things that are out of my hands or out of the club's hands. So it's concentrate all of our energy on the group, all of the energy going into the game tomorrow night. When January gets here, we'll be prepared for various situations, but I probably see it as the biggest compliment more than anything.
The former MK Dons player in charge of Plymouth.
Indeed, yeah. So he's done a really good job. Again, I can only speak highly of the work he's done there. When you look at the progress the team's made and how they're playing now, I have to say I've quite enjoyed watching the games that we've obviously done the work on. So yeah, no, he's done a terrific job, and I look forward to the game tomorrow night. I'm really quite excited by it.
Thanks, Liam. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Just having the TV cameras there add a little bit of extra spice to this one as well.
Potentially, to be honest, I've not really thought about it too much. To be honest, I'm sure that the guys might think around it, but it's just around making sure that we go out and play to a level we know we're capable of and understand how we do that. I think that's the biggest thing for the group. It's taking all the experiences we've had. It's taking a tactical game plan. It's committing yourself physically and mentally to the match. And I think you do all of them things, and knowing the group and knowing the lads, I know they'll perform to a level they're capable of. And I think if we do that, we'll win football matches. So I think great it's on Sky, but concentrate in the game. That's my message.
We talk an awful lot about the team learning and picking up experience from the various games that we cover. How close are they now to the Liam Manning vision of MK Dons, or is that always going to be a constantly evolving sort of picture as well?
Yeah, I think it's the biggest challenge. It's one that we have to be careful of as staff. You're constantly chasing perfection, knowing you're never going to get there, and I think that's the one for us as a group of staff, to make sure when we do reflect on the really good things, and we'll always look at what can get better. I think that's the thing. You never play the perfect game, and you'll never have the perfect season. So for me, there's always work, there's always analysis, there's always things to reflect on. And again, I think that's the important bit. I think I was really pleased with Morecambe, and even spells back in mid-third against Orient. Guys that hadn't played so much. When I looked at that as a collective, I was really pleased with the style, with the game management, with the playing through, playing round, playing over. I thought we looked really unpredictable, and I think that's what I like. We know our top line principles. We know we want to have the ball. We know we want to be brave and play. We know we want to be attack minded, but we also want to be adaptable so teams can't read what we're going to do. And I think that, again, huge credit to the group. When I look at them, they're in a position at the minute where you see in games they're making good decisions with that. So we've worked really hard to reinforce what them pictures look like. So hopefully we'll see them again tomorrow.
We're just about to speak to Daniel Harvey, and for me, he's probably in the peak of his form at MK Dons. He was in and out of the team initially last season, and I think he's really hit the ground running this season. What do you make of his performances so far?
He's been really consistent, Dan. Been really pleased with him. I think he brings a huge personality to the group as well, which is also, when I look at it, a big asset for us. And he's been really consistent. I think he, when you look at his game, still bits to work on, which he knows, in terms of, like to see him, come up with a goal every now and then and keep working on his assists. But when you look at it in terms of, defensively, what he does, the work he puts in, how solid he is with his basics, he's been, really consistent for us, and I've been really pleased with him. And that's the beauty. I think it's now we can really work with him because he has such a good attitude to actually add the final bits of quality at the end of his game. And I think he does that. He'll continue to head in the right direction.
And we're seeing an awful lot of development in that wing-back sort of position, aren't we? Not just at MK Dons, but all over the world. It's becoming more and more a part and parcel of football, isn't it?
Yeah, even in League One, you look at it. A lot of teams are playing a back three with wing-backs. Chelsea obviously doing such a good job of it at the highest level as well. So it's a system a lot of teams are playing. I think when we came in, I'd predominantly played a lot of 4-2-3-1 before it. But when you look at the personnel, and for me, that's why it's important in terms of being driven by the principles of play rather than a system or a structure. And I think, again, what the staff have done, what the players have done, is actually adapted to how we're playing it. And then the beauty is you can actually then incorporate individual strengths within it. And I think that's the key when you've got a group of players. Individually, what are they really good at, and then how do you get them in spots where it comes to life collectively? And I'd say the group have done a good job on that.
And you did mention it, but he's shy of Peter Keroso's goal tally, isn't he? But so are you just telling him to shoot on sight a little bit more and maybe be a little bit more greedy when it comes to being in front of goal?
Yeah, I also think it's the entries. I think that's the final bit. I think there's an element of and he's got some good assists. Dan, you think around the Wigan game, a couple of great balls for that game. I think with a lot of the guys now, it's around consistently producing, and I think that's, if you look at the top guys, the Trent Alexander-Arnold, sorry. If you look at them guys, they consistently execute, consistently hit high numbers in terms of goals and assists. So that's the way we work. It's around continually looking to improve, and he's really on board with that. I have to say, with Dan, and I think it's now, can we get him in the box even more than he is at the minute, and then add the final bit.